Unshackle Your Mind, Part 2. Think beyond government. The government creates man-made laws, rules, and regulations in order to serve themselves for profit, power, control, and greed. Governments have created borders to keep us separated from one another because, as the masses, we are the ones in control. Government stole and claimed land as their own. The earth is our home and should not be owned by any one government. Government conditions people to have a false sense of freedom in order to keep us all in a state of slumber, to be easily manipulated and used as a commodity. The Federal Reserve has created man-made debt, which has caused suffering, stress, and fear, and to keep us off balance, so we cannot resist their control. Politicians are always self-serving and have forgotten about the people. Government forces juries to prejudge without each individual having had direct experience with the matter, in most cases. Governments force heavy taxation on the poor, leaving the rich with more. They never police themselves, allowing them to do whatever they please. We should not be forced to participate in their way of living our lives. There is only the natural law. One law and one rule, the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and live and let live. These are the only two rules we need. Our government is formed by the people, and can be undone by the people. The government is not in control of anything. They can only pretend to create more laws. The only law there is the law of natural order, which is unchangeable by any man-made belief. Our government cannot control the masses of people, nor natural disasters. They cannot monitor the masses, nor can they be at more than one place at one time. They have not united our states or other countries. These are mere words to try to emphasize power and control. Words alone do not make them in control. These are illusions. The government does not have the manpower to rescue victims in natural disasters because, as we were all warned, you're on your own. Our government is corrupt and pretends to have a legitimate voting process, yet they refuse any other candidates to participate other than those that they themselves select. This is the illusion of inclusion. All wars have all been created for profit by those few greedy men who wish to sell goods and construct places at the expense of the lives of innocent, brave men and women who have been brainwashed to think they are serving a just cause. The government does not have the right to label an ethnic group or race as evil, to create hate, fear, and war. We do not need a government that threatens to imprison us when we question them. Fear and intimidation is used by the government as a weapon to refuse us the right to liberation and individuality. We do not need a government to control us, because we each can be responsible for ourselves. We do not need a government to protect us, because we can protect ourselves. We do not need a government that poisons our food and water. We do not need a government to feed us, because when we are given back our land, we can feed ourselves. We do not need a government to shelter us, because we can build our own. We do not need a government to educate us, because our wisdom is learned through self-experience and common sense, through a moral philosophy of self-discovery. We must stand together and unite as a human race. No matter how many armies the politicians create, they cannot do so without the masses of people. They cannot protect themselves from themselves. No matter how much wealth they accumulate, they can't take it with them. We have the power to make the changes for ourselves. Fight the changes that they try to impose on us. Resist. Do not bow down to any president, king, dictator, or outside God, other than your own good self. Seek the God within yourself. We have the right to live free, without oppression, suppression, control, domination, enslavement to greed, power, politics, and man-made debt. We should never have to fear, or suffer, or be stressed in our lives again. The human spirit shall never be conquered by the physical. This is our true liberation as spiritual beings, and our right of our own free will. Transcend false freedom, awake, and live free.